And we're here with a great sketch from Lisa Sikorsky at Scrapasketch this week, and it is sketch number 155, and I am here showcasing this wonderful sketch. Here's a sneak peek of what it looks like in the completed mode, and now we'll get going. Hi everyone, it's Kathy here, and I am joining you today with our Scrapasketch, and it's a creative team layout that I'm using Lisa's amazing sketch to showcase her talent as an artist, and also to show you how you can interpret a sketch and put it into action for your layouts. So I am using some paper here that already has pre-printed tags on it, so they're the ones I'm going to incorporate into this layout. I'm going with a grid background because my photo is my first day back to school this year. So I thought that that would tie in nicely with that theme on that layout. Now remember, at Scrapasketch, Lisa does have a premium range, which you do pay a small fee over the year for access to, but well worth it. Plus, when you're there in her shop, you can purchase printables, and you can also purchase die cuts and other things that are great for you to use on your layouts. Now, I have not trimmed this video today, obviously, as you can see, and you can see the type of space that I actually work in for my layouts. And look at the mess. I need to clean it up. That's terrible. I thought I had trimmed it. Obviously, I had not. So now you're getting to see the true space that I work in and the chaos that is my workspace. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm double matting my photo, and I have chosen, once again, another grid paper. It is in all the colors that I'm using. I am using some different pieces of paper from different places to pull it all together. Now, with that little paper type paper you can see here, I used my notepad punch to create like a sheet of paper torn from a notebook, and that ties in with the sketch details that Lisa has put into this sketch. And then I'm just inking up all the edges so that they pop up off that background and give some definition to each of the pieces that I'm adding to the layout. So now I'm ready to construct, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to finish off inking around the edges so that it lifts off my 1-inch frame. And you know, I always like to have a 1-inch frame around my layouts so that they all fit and look at a finished off, not just coming off the edge of the page. Now, I love this new technique of pulling my tape out and making it flat, and it really does make a huge difference to the layering up and lining up of my frame. I've got a circle piece here that I'm tucking in behind the horizontal bar that goes across the page, and that horizontal sets up the landing point for the photo and also for the tags to tuck in underneath. Now, Lisa does have on her sketch the tags tucking in nice and small, but I elongated mine, and I'm going to have them longer because I just like the pattern on it, and I just like the colour. So you can have it as short as, or as long as with your tags. You can have them as wide as, or as short as, or you don't even have to use tags. You can change the element altogether. You can have something else that fits your theme. Now, I'm sticking pretty close to the sketch. I like to honour the sketch and show you how you can interpret it quite easily. There are no rights or wrongs with a sketch. There's only your way. So make sure you have a go. And I can't wait to see what everybody does. Check out the Facebook group, which I'll have linked down below, that you can go across and see every Friday a new sketch that is being released. And also you can check out what other designers and what other creators are doing with a sketch. It's always fascinating watching the process that other people interpret a sketch with, and to see what they come up with, because you think you're coming up with a great idea and then someone else does something really off the board and you go, wow, that is just magic. All right, so I don't often use puffy stickers and I don't often use bought things, but these ones are school oriented and they are perfectly designed for what I need for this layout. They're saying first day back at school, you know, a new year at school. So they're all tying into that school theme. I'm just tying them together. I also have these chipboard buttons, which I've had for ages, and I'm loving that I'm getting to use up stash and getting them out of my stash that have been sitting there for 100 years. well, it's not really 100 years, but it feels like it at times. And I'm just building them into the clusters here. And they marry with the colours perfectly, so it works well. So now I've set up the 3 clusters, and that top cluster you can see is where Elisa has it as hearts. And that's another thing I wanted to point out. Where they put the cluster or the elements for the clusters or the things to build embellishment to your layout, you don't have to stay to the shape that is there. That's just a suggested point of landing. It's not necessarily the shape you have to use. So I'm making sure I've got my 3 stars in there, and then I now have 3 distinct clusters set up, and they all have a star, and that's the connecting. They all have the round button as well, and that's the other connecting point. So it's really important that you have the similar items to the clusters, and that's why they end up nice and balanced as well. So I'm loving how this has come together. I like the colours. They marry in nicely with the colours in my office. This is me on my first day at school, getting back into the swing of it. This is my office. You can see how busy my office is. Children love to come into my office and check out my, my wall of photos, because I like to put up photos everywhere, and they're all the photos where I've been dressed up at school, doing events at school. So I'm just drawing in a messy border as well, just to add a little bit more dimension to it. Add a little bit more interest to the layout. I like how this has all come together. It's really a simple layout that you can work. I'm putting in some faux stitching around that circle just to highlight that a little bit more. And on this panel, which is a journal panel, I'm just running in that it's back to work. And these are the 2 desks that dominate my world, really. My scrapbooking desk, which you can see here, is as messy can be, and my work desk, which always gets full of paperwork from one day to the next. And there are times where I feel like I'm dying under a pile of paper, different types of paper for different reasons, one for creative, one for workload. So that's why I really wanted to scrap this, because it was showing that there are 2 desks in my life that rule my life, and they both take over my world, but that's okay. One because I really love being there, one because I have to earn the money so I can be at the other. So it's really funny, and that's what that says in my journaling. I'm just going to put down the date here because it was the start of this year's schooling year, and I'm just putting that into this bottom corner, and you can see how this layout has come together. So I hope I've done something here that has inspired you to get creative today. Remember, I like to dress my tags down the bottom, so I put a little bit of jute through them just so they were dressed and not bare. You can see that cluster up there with the pops of colour tying it in to set up that visual triangle. I now have all of this put down together, and that's another layout done, and it's as simple as that, everybody. Have a go. Use the sketch. Go back and check out what Lisa has every Friday. Oh, and look, you even get to see me standing up. So there you go. Here's my layout. I'm sure there is something here for everybody to get creative with. Don't forget to go and see what everybody's doing. Go to www.scrapasketch.com and you can find premium sketches. You can find 2 books now with sketches in them, and also a complete range of printables, and Lisa is coming up with new ones all the time. So just a small premium fee to join the shop, but then once you're into their premium site, you then have access to all these great things, and you can use my discount of 10%, Kathy Loves to Scrap 10, to get your discount. Hi, thanks for watching. I've got a video for you next, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.